Yo, what's going on, guys, and welcome to the channel. In today's video, I'm going over a coaching session that I did with a gold level player. We talk about a lot of the basic things that they may need to fix or change, not just in their gameplay, but also in camera settings, Deadzone settings, etc. So hopefully you guys find this video useful, and yeah, let's get right into it. What camera settings do you use?
I used to use Musty's, but now I just kind of use my own.
So I won't tell you not to do that because I played with like a really zoomed out setting for the longest time.
I had a phase where I was playing with freestyler camera settings.
While you're getting used to the game, it's pretty, I think it's not too hard to switch camera settings. Like, I've changed mine like less than a week ago again, and I tweak it all the time. It's really close to pro settings, but I still mess around with it all the time, right? So I'm not gonna pretend that you shouldn't as well. That's number one. As long as it's something close to a standard setting, I think it's okay. So as long as you're finding someone that, you know, it's not completely ridiculous, right? In terms of like dead zone, steering sensitivity, aerial sensitivity, is that something you mess around with as well?
My dodge dead zone because I had a problem with fast aerialing.
Okay, that's good.
Couldn't really get up to the ball that quick, and I used to do a lot of backflips.
Okay, no, that's good.
My thing now is about a 80.
Okay, that's fine.
Above.
I've done 80 before too. It just really depends on like what mechanics you're going for, and then building comfort level with the controller you have, right? So that's good. I'm glad you're messing around with it. That's exactly what you should be doing. Steering and aerial sensitivity, I'd say honestly you probably want to raise it and just get used to it.
Mine is a 2.80 and a 2.80.
Oh my god. And so I think all it does is actually make it so that small little movements are really hard to do. I don't think I've ever heard of any pro doing a 2.8 before. So I'd say that those are probably bad settings.
How much lower should I put it?
I think 1.4, what you were doing before for both, is perfectly fine. That's what I do actually. And what about controller dead zone, the third one? What do you do for that?
And my controller dead zone is a 0.13. Because my controller usually has a little bit of stick drift.
Oh my god, mine's the worst. But I still do it at 0.06 right now. I used to play 0.05, but it's just so bad that I had to switch to 0.06.
Yeah.
0.13 sounds pretty high, but if you're okay with it, again, that's not something that's going to hold you back. But the 2.8 for steering and aerial, that will hold you back.
Alright.
It's not a science, but that's at least my opinion on it, right? Okay, so now that the settings are kind of out of the way, the drill that I was showing you right now, like, you need to be able to do this like 100% of the time, confidently. You get what I'm saying? Like, these kind of dribbles are a core fundamental of Rocket League. And, like, you can't train this kind of stuff enough. I warm this up still to this day. There are more fun ways to do it. So you can download workshop maps, like the floor is lava or whatever, and then you can practice.
I do have some.
Nice.
But they're mainly for like, I guess like car control.
Right. So those things are perfectly fine. It's all about making it entertaining, right? Because if you're not having fun, then why are we even playing this, right? So I actually like to recommend people to move without the ball. What I mean by that is practicing wave dashes and just go along the wall doing this, you know what I mean?
Like jumping on and then jumping off?
Yeah, exactly. Jumping on, jumping off. And then another one that's good is you can jump on the wall, and when you hop off, if you're a little high up, you don't want to actually wait until you land to do a wave dash. Sometimes you want to jump and then do an upside down single pop.
Oh yeah, so that you can get down quicker.
Right, exactly. And I do this all the time when I'm air dribbling, because I fake a jump and then I pop down. It doesn't make a huge difference, but something to know. The reason I point these things out, even though you're gold, is that these mechanics last forever, right? If you learn how to do a flip reset right now, you're gonna have to relearn it when you get to a higher level, because you're not able to do it.
It's not gonna worry. I mean, it's not gonna be important, right?
No, what I mean more is that you're not gonna be doing it fast enough. It's not gonna be fast enough, clean enough. You're not gonna be able to adjust based on someone else challenging or getting a save on you or whatever, right? So learning to do wave dashes, recoveries, going off the wall, like doing upside down pops to recover faster, these things last forever, so you might as well learn it. Speed flipping is another one you could consider learning. It's actually really easy to do. You've already picked up half flipping. The only time you should use it right now is in the middle of a game when you're traveling around the field. You know when you do a normal flip to move around?
Yeah, and I usually like accidentally do it.
Well, if you make it intentional, because then you can practice it, right? And once it gets comfortable enough, you can start doing it for kickoffs, you can start doing it for shots, you can start incorporating it into your game, right? Maybe try to learn it really well, because it shouldn't be too hard to understand, because it's a diagonal flip with a cancel, diagonal flip with a cancel, and then you just air roll at the end to straighten it out. That's really all it is. Okay, so it looks like you're not canceling it properly, and your flip isn't accurate. So diagonal flip, so stick has to be diagonal, like literally. No, that's too straight. No. So do it quickly, like this, diagonal flip. Yep, perfect. And now, the moment you do the
diagonal,
all you do is pull your stick back. Just pull it in the opposite direction. That's the easiest way to explain it. No, not quick enough. You have to do it really fast. Better. That was a good one. That was good. So you know it worked when your car is pointing down.
Yeah.
So diagonal flip and you just pull it in the opposite direction. I think you're a little too sideways, but it looks better. Looks better. And now all you have to do is while you do that, you boost. That's it. And there you go.
But I always do that kind of this flip.
Yeah, so that means you're just side flipping. You need to make it a diagonal flip. Yeah, that's basically one, but you didn't recover it properly, right?
Yeah.
So again, you cancel, and then you just boost while you do it, and that's it. So
I can usually do that. I can't do it like when I'm on the right side of kickoff though.
Right. So you have to practice it left and right.
I'm not comfortable with that move. That.
Yep. So that's why I'm saying don't practice it in like situations where you really need it to work. You can practice it when you're moving around the field or whatever, right? Okay, so anyway, honestly, this stuff's kind of advanced for gold, but the reason why I tell you is because, again, if you learn it now, you're going to use it all the time forever, and you need it later on in the stages of the game anyway, right? So that's the only reason I touched on it. But other than that, the power sliding and moving around the field efficiently, effectively, and flipping exactly where you want to flip is actually important. You might take it for granted. I certainly do. What you should do is you should drive around the field and flip exactly into boost pads very quickly.
Oh, yeah.
And it may seem like, oh, I can do this in my sleep, but it's really hard to land them actually. So boost management, don't worry about too much right now. It's gonna be hard to really do. Just don't, when you hit supersonic, don't boost. That's pretty much all you need to learn right now. Do you know what that means?
Yeah.
Okay.
Isn't it after like 30 boost and a jump?
Don't think about it like that. Think about it the moment that you hear that sound, it goes like boom. Like you hear like that slight boom, right? And then also you get that trail behind your car. Those are the two ways to really know when you're hitting supersonic, and that's what you should use. There's also like a subtle timing that you'll eventually feel, because I feel the timing. I almost know exactly when my car's gonna hit supersonic because I've done it so much, right?
Yeah.
So again, that's stop boosting when you're supersonic, boost when you're not, and that's pretty much it that you should know for boost manager right now, I would say. Try to incorporate flips and moving around the field accurately into your game, because a lot of times when you whiff a ball or you don't save something, you may not realize it, but you're actually just missing the ball. It has nothing to do with the opponent playing well. You just missed the ball. You get what I mean? Because you flipped wrong, you did a backflip or whatever, right? And once you've gotten used to the front flip, you also need to practice it with half flips and just general back flips. Back flipping, you almost always are half flipping, so you can just kind of practice half flipping. And driving backwards is somewhat important. I don't really practice this too often, but I've done it enough in game that I can kind of do it, right? So
yeah,
kind of important. And then the reason why I tell you to do the power slide and chip the ball is because this is what leads up to a shot. This mechanic right here, because you power slide and then you shoot the ball just like that. You get what I mean? So eventually, once you can hit the ball every single time with the front of your car, so with the two corners or with the front flat part of your car, then you can eventually make this a power shot, power slide, power shot, dribble training session. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
Right now you still need to make it a power slide training session because your power sliding isn't accurate. But the moment that you feel that the power sliding is, again, you can go for shots on it and change it up, right?
Yeah. Is square a good button to power slide with?
It really depends on what all your buttons are, so it's kind of hard to say. You can also just find a pro, again, that you like, whose style you want to adopt, and just use theirs. But you shouldn't play around with your own settings. The control settings, you should definitely find a pro and use theirs. Because if you don't get used to the correct settings now, it's going to put you in a bad spot. Because you're going to need to relearn everything once you get to a higher level. Because there are some mechanics that you can't do if your controller bindings are set up incorrectly. You get what I mean? And another thing you need to do is make sure that the pro doesn't use like a scuff controller or play claw.
Yeah.
Because then you need to play that exact same way when they use those settings, right? So this is something important. You should definitely consider switching to someone who plays normal or standard if that's what you use. Claw if you use claw, whatever, right? And then change to their settings. Okay, well, you should definitely train the power sliding, and then eventually power sliding into power shooting, right? You can hit the ball like this with your corner, or like the angle can all the way be to the side like this, or even like completely side on like this. You get what I'm saying? So depending on how you're hitting the ball with the corner, if it's more side on, you want to do a side flip into the ball. If it's more front on, then you can still do a side flip, but it's probably better to do a diagonal flip. You get what I'm saying? So if it's almost completely side on, you do a side flip. And then if it's more straight on, the more and more straight on, you do a diagonal flip, okay? That's just like the basics of what I've always done. But the number one most important thing about shooting is flipping right before you hit the ball. A lot of other things are important in shooting too, and you'll lose a lot of power if you don't do certain things as well. But the most important thing you need to learn is to flip right before you hit the ball. That is how you generate power. There are so many other things that, again, go into it, but this is one thing that you can't avoid. Another thing is changing the direction of the ball is a big part of power generation. So you can just take a look at what I did here real quick. By putting acceleration on the ball, yeah, so
from a different angle, right?
Exactly. So that's what acceleration means, right? Because if it's continuing to go in the same direction, you're not accelerating the ball that much when you hit it, right? All right, buddy, I think that about covers everything that I think makes sense to cover in this session. Hopefully you found it useful.
Yes, it was.
Nice.
And I needed tips, because I had a GC friend before, and we just kind of played casuals. He didn't really help me at all.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, that'll happen, and sometimes you want to focus on having fun in the game, right?
Yeah.
All right, buddy, well, if you need anything else, let me know. I'm happy to be a resource for you.
Link me your YouTube, please.
Yeah, I can definitely do that. All right, buddy. Well, appreciate your time. Hopefully that was good for you.
Thank
and again, yeah, let me know if you need anything.
All right, see ya.
All right, have a good one, buddy. Thanks for watching till the end of the video. Hopefully it wasn't too scuffed and you liked what you saw. If you did, please consider subscribing and leaving a like. I'm also happy to try and cater to the things that you guys would like to see to help you improve your Rocket League. So leave a comment below if you have any ideas for future content that you'd like to see or things that you think would help you. I'm happy to be that resource for you. I'm currently a GC2 and I'm on my own road to SSL, and I'm trying to create content that I would have loved to see on my own journey, right? I feel like there's a lot of videos out there that aren't as helpful as I think they should be, and so I want to be that resource for you. So if you liked what you saw, let me know, and thanks again for sticking around, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.